What's up YouTube? This is Will and welcome to Will You League's Gameplays. Today I'll be talking about Facebook friends. So if you guys don't know, which I don't think why you wouldn't, 20% of the world uses Facebook. Facebook has this feature where you can request people, and when they accept you, they become your friend, in quotation marks, friend, and your Facebook friend count goes up. And your Facebook friend count is something on your profile just to tell everyone how many friends you have. So let's get down to it. Okay, have you ever met a person who pretty much judges you based on how many friends you have on Facebook? I'll give you an example. Say you are browsing your Facebook and then someone comes up and they pretty much first thing they look at is how many friends you have on your profile. They may do this in person, they may do it behind the safety of their own computer. Anyhow, my point of today's topic is that the amount of friends you have, it does not correlate to the amount of real friends you have in real life. And some people just don't seem to understand that, so they brag about having thousands and thousands of friends on Facebook. I'm sure you've met someone like this before. You know, the guy who's always bragging about having 4,692 friends on Facebook, but in real life, you know he's a freaking joke. Anyhow, let's get down to it. Let me tell you guys a story real quick to transition to the next point. Back when I was in high school, which was around 3 or 4 years ago, at this specific point, I didn't really care too much about Facebook. My amount of friends had stayed pretty much the same for about half a year, and it didn't really bother me. No one requested me unless I requested them first. I was fine with that. At least I knew that the people that I were friends with on Facebook were actually friends, not just like people I met, once and then decided to add. So anyhow, back then I decided to do a little experiment, and it was kind of to prove this point that, Facebook friends didn't really matter, and it was also just to just figure out if I could do it or not. So what I did was I went on this rampage where I wanted to get as many friends as I could. So what I did was I pretty much added anyone that I had some sort of mutual connection with. Usually that meant going to the same high school or to a local high school or having a few mutual friends in common. As you might guess, this is somewhere in the near 10,000s of people. So obviously I didn't meet any of these people before, but I sent the request until the Facebook started restricting me for mass spamming. Anyhow, I got past that. I did get like one temporary block or whatever, but eventually I decided to stop. I stopped around 1,000 something. And the point of it was that some people did end up messaging me asking who this was and stuff, but the great majority did not. They just blindly accepted my request. I'm sure a good deal of them denied my request, but it was really surprising the amount just blindly accepting my request without, bothering to follow up with a message afterwards. And especially nowadays, I still see quite a deal now, because from time to time I'll add someone I don't know simply because they're hot or some other reason, and they will not follow up with a message asking who this is or anything else. And usually it's because we either go to the same local area, we have some mutual friends, or their local high school is really close to my local high school, or something like that. But still, you should still follow up with that, especially if you don't know the person. But it's surprising the amount who will still do this. Facebook has put up a good deal more privacy, but still, I do have to warn you guys that it's not safe out there. And so, especially with a lot of people I see with a whole crap load of friends, they'll especially do this. They will just add someone and they won't follow up with anything. There are plenty of girls I know who have like 2.7k friends or something ridiculous like that who will not follow up. And you know what this means? What it means is that 90% of these people that they add are not their true friends. I mean, they're just people they added online. I mean, when it comes down to it, the amount of real friends you have is like, I would say about 100 person, maybe 10, 20, 50, I don't know. But it's definitely not 3,492. So, I have a quick question for you guys. And please leave your answers in the comments after I ask the question. My question is, what's the most number of friends you've seen one person have on Facebook? But he can't have any type of celebrity status. He can't have any claim to fame, or he can't have some cheap way of getting friends like, I don't know, 100,000 subs on YouTube. So put that number down in the comments below and we'll compare our answers. So after you've done that, let me tell you guys what I have seen. The most I've seen is pretty much the same. I know about 3 or 4 people with the same amount, which is around 2,500 friends. And these are people that I know for sure do not have any cheap way of getting friends. All these friends are usually through Social Circle. So they probably met them at some party or some shit like that. However, I'm pretty darn sure that 99% of these people, okay, not 99, like 95% of these friends that they added, of the 2.6k or whatever, are not real friends. They're just, they're not close friends at all, they're not even acquaintances. I mean, when it comes down to it, I've actually added a bunch of people, and then a couple weeks later, figured out that they were complete assholes, and they're far from my friends, so I ended up removing them anyways. Sometimes it might take years for me to notice, sometimes just a couple days. But other than that, let me give you guys another question. If you guys haven't commented yet, why don't you leave your answer in the comments before I answer myself. So my second question is, how many friends, what's the most amount of friends you've seen on one person who does have some sort of celebrity status, or you know, some claim to fame, or some cheap way of getting friends? So pretty much anyone, the most amount of friends. So now that you've done that, obviously the answer for me is 5,000, because that's the cap. 5,000 is the cap on friends on Facebook, and most likely that's what you said too, because there's so many people out there with 5,000 friends. They don't have to be super famous or anything, and it's honestly not that hard to get there if you have any sort of fame, especially on YouTube. And usually you'll have to get like a fan page to cope with the amount of friends you have. So back to my other point. I always found it was pretty weird that a lot of people with like so many friends would just add you and they wouldn't message you or anything. I'm assuming it's just because they want more friends and they don't really care as long as you seem fairly safe. And it's pretty darn weird how much emphasis they put. I mean, when I first got into college, after I did that little experiment, my friend count was still super high, and even though like I wouldn't consider 90% of them my true friends. I actually did a whole cleaning out of my friends list after that, but when I got into high school I didn't. And then there was a bunch of people who were looking at me on Facebook, and they when they added me, they're like, "Wow, dude, you must be so popular. You have so many friends." And I would be like, "Fuck no, no. So, and the reason is because, like I said, a lot of the people you add on Facebook, I wouldn't consider like true friends, more like acquaintances. And it's just kind of sad how some people will take that and boast about it. I'm sure you've met someone like that too. If you have, go ahead and leave a comment on that. But if you haven't, let me tell you another story. So I know this guy, and he had around 2.5k friends on Facebook. He still does. And he always added people constantly. And he is definitely one of the most, one of the guys with the most friends I know who didn't have any sort of, cheap way of getting friends. So anyhow, all of a sudden he decided to make a brand new account one day, and on it he only added about 100 people. I knew him pretty well, so he added me on there. And the thing was, it was pretty clear that the reason he did it was because he didn't want to be bombarded or hassled by all these people on his normal Facebook that he wouldn't really consider even friends. And so he made this new one where he could do what he wanted, and he only added the people he really thought were friends, which was only about like 100 or 200 people. And on it, he actually was able to post a bunch of stuff that he really wanted to, that really suited him, such as anime, Bleach, and stuff like that, which he wouldn't really post on his main Facebook. So that was pretty cool, and that's honestly something you should take a look at too. If you have a bunch of fake friends on Facebook who you knew bullied you in high school or middle school or whatever, but you added anyways, or just some dude you met in elementary school who you never got along with and pretty much hated, but you added them anyways, I mean, you should consider removing them. I mean, it's kind of like a pretty much one step back if you're pretty much welcoming your enemies back into your life like that. So that's just something to note. And it looks like our time's winding to an end here, so I'll just cut it like that for now, and I'll see you guys later. Subscribe for more. Peace.